And welcome to Getcha Popcorn Ready podcast, right? You see it, merch coming soon. You see it, dog. You see our faces.
Oh, man, I'm handsome.
Yeah, I don't know who that big head with sunglasses is, but that's your boy, Hatch, your host, and my other guy.
Yep, I'm here, T.O. We are in the building. Get your popcorn ready. Fubo TV, Fubo Sports, we right here. We in your living room. We everywhere. We in your car. We in your bathroom. We everywhere. We in your bedroom. We everywhere.
On your boats, on your skateboards,
everywhere.
Your horse and buggy. We got horse and buggy? We got horse. We everywhere.
Yeah. Everywhere.
We everywhere. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast. It's your host, Hatch, with my boy.
Right here, the other host of the most, right here, T.O. We are in the building, but we have a really spectacular guest. Yeah, spectacular.
That's the word. That's the word you go. Because you special, right?
Yeah,
He's spectacular. You special. A different type of special, but you
when
special.
guys that hunt guys like us down, back there in the secondary.
Yeah, he one of those.
Those guys are spectacular.
Yes, sir. Dashon Goldson in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Get Your Popcorn Ready, my man. What's up, brother?
Oh, man, ain't nothing. Chilling, going through this popcorn.
Hey, we ain't mad at you. You like the popcorn, though, huh?
I do, man.
We got another surprise coming, too. Not today, unfortunately. You're going to miss it, but we got a little popcorn surprise for the people in the future here on GPR, too.
We can bring it back on, though. You know,
come on, mess with us a little bit. What you been doing, man? What's going on since retirement?
Ah, man, been chilling, really, man. Working out a little bit.
Yeah.
At the same time, coaching high school football, man.
There you go.
Stay in tune.
There you go. Over there at Lawndale, right?
I'm at Lawndale, actually. Yeah.
There it is. There it is.
Speaking of retirement, coaching football, myself, aside from different from you guys gravitated, transitioned into coaching. Mm-hmm. That's just not in my blood. Not in my blood. So what is it about coaching or coaching football that made you want to transition into high school football?
Well, one, it was really, man, I like being around kids. I like helping kids. I got into it early, actually, like after my first year of being out of the league. You know, I needed something, you know, as men, as football player, we used to structure.
Yep,
you know,
schedule.
Doing, you know what I mean?
So I had to find that immediate, right after?
I had to find something, man. I was losing my mind. It was about a year. I say about a year after. I was about a year after. I got the opportunity, somebody approached me, you know, and asked me, man, do you want to come help out and get in the culture, man? Some of these kids would love you, love to have you out here. And so I took nothing up. The school was right around the corner from the house. I wasn't doing nothing. I would wake up in the morning, work out. Yeah. You know, I'd be done by like 10, 12 o'clock. Now I'm just running around the city, spending money, doing nothing, drinking. So, like, yeah, man, I come over there and got into it. And the kids, I liked the response I was getting. And it was fun for me, just being around, teaching these kids how to tackle, backpedal, little things like that. And it just kept me in tune with being around football. Like I said, we used to have structure and having meetings and all that. And I just enjoyed, still being around it.
But being a defensive player, and obviously we've seen the game change, and you just said teaching the kids how to tackle.
Which is important.
Was that difficult trying to teach them the correct way?
Or the new way, because there's a new way how to tackle from what we learned.
Because you've been a victim of helmet to helmet, and now there's like you said, this new way of playing football. Right. How is that teaching kids, really the proper way now to according to how we were taught and how I was being killed, getting hit. We were getting, well, not him, but.
Well, the game was they were trying to modify the game, so, so you always look good, keep the money on the field. Right. But I don't think it was difficult. I think it was a little easier, because, the kids are like sponges at that age, you know what I'm saying? They didn't have people teach them how to do it proper anyway, so when I got there, it was more of, they knew where I came from my background and what I did in the league. So they was already locked in and they wanted to do it the way that I did it. So that made it a little easier. As far as the new way, I don't know what this new way is. The new way is only even NFL. You know what I mean? It's one way to tackle, you know what I mean? And that's the low man win, obviously, getting low, keeping your head out of the tackle and using your hips. I mean, that's what I really teach the kids on how to tackle. I wasn't a guy that really used my helmet. I just think they really used me as a scapegoat.
Yeah,
you know
yeah. Because you were the example, right?
yeah.
Deshaun came downhill, ladies and gentlemen. Just so y'all don't know, YouTube it.
And you and the guy from Cincinnati, wasn't that
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes, sir.
Like, I mean, this guy right here, he was sort of like a poster boy. I mean, it was like every week. I mean, I think he got.
I can't speak for him. Man. Some of it was like.
But again, that mentality for defensive guys,
Right.
you're taught really kind of just to seek and destroy.
That part.
Yeah.
And now it's almost like they're teaching kids to have that same mentality, but somewhat under control, to where now it's like you have to really be careful, and it's taken away from the game. How do you think the game will progress here going forward?
Man, it's gonna get softer and softer. Man, I feel like the game is gonna be softer and softer. People are just gonna be mad. And
Flag football?
Flag football.
Yeah.
7-on-7. I think high school's taking off this 7-on-7. Might be 7-on-7 in a little bit, man. You never know.
Right.
Yeah.
Nah, but it's tough, man. It put a defensive player, I think, in a bad position trying to tackle that way. Because at the same time, he can get himself hurt. He can hurt himself doing stuff like that. Right. But like I always tell people, like, man, it's nothing personal. I'm out here trying to hit you. It's just business. I'm trying to my job is to get you down and put my team in the best position to win. I'm not trying to hurt nobody. It's just business.
Right.
Ain't nothing personal.
You're saying you're not trying to hurt anybody.
You're trying to hurt everybody.
I'm really not buying that right now.
Right. So
I want to see who your backup is, really. That's what I really want. I want
This
to know who
ain't
the
Brian
number 2 is.
Gumble or Bob Costas.
Right. Let's go back. So again, you're from Cali, right? From Carson, went to Narbonne High School, powerhouse out here in high school football. Right. So what was that first time you got to knock somebody out, or you really like felt that blood and you like, I want some more of this? Because it probably was around the high school time, right?
You know what? I mean, I got good at tackling. Be honest with you, Pop Warner.
Okay.
I had a Pop Warner coach by the name of Bobby Hosea. He was a tackle guru. You can look his name up right now. He holding the Tackle Academy.
Tackle guru?
Tackle guru.
I love it.
You know, his formula to tackling is scientific.
Okay. What's his formula? What do you remember from the formula?
And is this what you've implemented with your coaching,
exactly,
along with some of the things that you've been able to really take from?
And I learned that at a young age. I was probably like 11 years old when I learned how to do this. He was our Pop Warner football coach. We would spend 2 hours of Pop Warner practices just learning how to tackle and how to hit.
2 hours?
2 hours.
Y'all hear that? Learn to tackle, ladies and gentlemen.
That sounds like some Kobe stuff, doing like one move for 2 hours.
That's what we're supposed to,
key, baby. Repetition is key.
Yeah, maybe that's what you should have done.
No, I did it. I'm like, maybe you should have.
You should have played receiver, like get off the gym for like 2 hours.
What the hell you laughing at though? That ain't funny, man.
No, I'm just saying.
No, I did. I worked way harder than you. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You was over there in the driveway doing push-ups somewhere while I was out there working. I ain't trying to hear all that.
The driveway didn't come to years later. But I'm just saying, dog, maybe you should have like.
No, I did all that. I did all that. Hands down. But no, so.
It just didn't work?
You know what? It worked. It worked. You just didn't see it. You didn't see the fruits of the labor. That's it. I saw it, and some people around me saw it, but unfortunately, the world didn't see it. But that's okay, though. That's okay.
Get back to what you were saying.
Yeah, man. So, it's Bobby Hosea, man. His formula is dip and rip.
Okay.
So,
Popcorn on top of
yeah, man.
There you go. You good.
So dip it right.
I appreciate it. Dip and rip. We always call it dip and rip because when most people tackle, they spread their arms and they try to wrap you up. We taught to wrap up. But when you wrap somebody, when the arms go out, your head automatically go down.
Okay.
So dip and rip is you stepping into a bucket. You stepping, in a coil position and you rip it. So when you rip, your head automatically come up and you grab and claw.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's
cool, yeah.
I don't know if you can hear
it. It's different than what
man.
From that, I've heard more of this than I've heard of that, but it does make sense.
When guys get to reaching, I had 2 shoulder surgeries doing.
Your arms outside your body.
You're trying to wrap them, might just run through your.
Oh yeah, because you don't have no leverage, and if a guy is powerful, you can obviously.
Exactly. So now we're talking about rip. Now you stepping. You throwing your arm.
Now you bring your hips with you and your head goes up.
Your head go up
and rip. That sounds like a kind of a receiver technique too. When we off the line, we
dip
and rip, underneath and stuff like that.
You ain't have no moves off the line. I ain't trying to hear.
You're right.
You ain't had zero. Had one move, just run through somebody. You didn't have no wiggle.
It worked. It worked for me.
I know.
It worked for me.
I know. I'm reaching. I'm reaching. All right.
I didn't have no wiggle early on. I didn't have no wiggle. I got my wiggle toward the end, like in the middle. I had to learn how to kind of like, finesse the game a little bit because I was physical.
Did you ever play on the offensive side of the ball?
I did.
Let him tell a true story. He was about to tell a true story, and I felt like it was something.
Let me hear the true story.
My boys flowers, but it was actually my rookie year. My rookie year, I got in. I didn't actually play that game. I suited up, but
right. I know the feeling. I know the feeling.
Yeah, so we playing against Dallas. I mean, T.O. was in Dallas at the time, man. And I'm talking about he just going ham. He might have went for about 200.
Okay. Okay.
I'm on the sideline. I'm a rookie. I mean, I watched the dude, all through high school and part one. I'm like, damn. So I'm on the sideline just watching, going ham on the boys. The boys coming to the sideline like, man, coach is frustrated. Man, how we gonna stop this? We gotta do this. Man.
Right.
We gotta stay over the top. They trying to play 2-man. They done play
everything.
Bracket. They
right.
Double the man. They need to go ham on. I'm sitting there like, oh, this dude's serious, man. But it was just good to see, man, as a rookie. My first professional game was me playing in one, coming out the tunnel. I never went to an NFL game. My first game was actually playing in one. So for me to like really, go out there and actually see this man play live and just going ham on a team that I was playing with.
It wasn't the star game, right? It wasn't the one he stood on the star.
No, it wasn't. It actually wasn't. It wasn't. But man, just to see him go out there and do his thing, man, I was impressed, man. Right. It was an honor to sit there and watch you play live. Man, I actually wanted to go in there and give you a piece of this dip and rip.
Go give him a piece.
I felt like I could have did a little something.
Go give him a little something.
He could have, But,
so that week of preparation, right? Are you guys in? I mean, I heard this guy was pretty good too. I don't know about it, but what was the preparation during that week?
I'd be lying if I tell you I remember that, Hash, to be honest with
you.
Yeah. I'm sure
it
was like, hey, man, we got to stop this guy, Hey, man, we got to stop this guy. You got to make sure you get hands on him, get underneath, hit him over the top, guys like that. You got to, try to disrupt him early with somebody over the top.
Yeah, because people don't understand a lot. Like, they see defenses and like, okay, this dude got beat, or the dude it was a 2-man. Like, as a receiver, when you see 2-man, we're just like, you got a safety help. You ain't really guard me man to man. Don't act like you really guard me. You got help, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of people look at it as, oh, I'm shutting this dude down, or like they shut, T.O. down, or they shut Moss down. Like, no, you might have had safety over here, and then you had the backer buzzing out as well.
I think
that's kind of 3-on-1.
They hype because the game plan worked. It ain't necessarily my personal, I shut him down, like, yeah, we got you.
Right. It ain't even happening.
Again, just from a fan perspective, because I've just kind of been just sitting back, in bars or what have you, or sports, and just watching people critique the game. And if you're a fan, you don't really know coverages, this, that, and the other. They just see that, just say it's you, they see Dashon lined up on Julio Jones, just for shits and giggles. Julio Jones, and Julio gets loose, but if it's cover 2 or whatever, that's not really your responsibility. You just disrupt him.
Carry,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then everybody that's watching, man, what is Dashon doing? Man, why you just let the dude go? Blah, blah, blah.
I've been a victim of all of that. Right. That's just what comes with it.
Because you're the last person they see in the frame, especially on TV.
And as a safety, you the last guy.
You're supposed to stop him.
When he's asking these questions, it's sometimes obviously for our audience, because we try to educate them too on really what they're seeing with the game. And then somebody like yourself who has played and very successful with it, you can kind of explain to them, okay, what's going on. There's a multitude of different coverages that you guys have to play or what have you. And fans, like I said, they see you guys and think, oh, I can play that. I could have done that. This and that. It's really not that easy.
There's a lot more to it.
And as you said, and sometimes it's game plan. Sometimes every game plan is going to be different
for sure,
depending on the offense and sometimes the personnel that they're going against.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly, you being the head hunter you are now, just say you playing in today's game, how do you stop, or what would be your mindset of stopping a guy like, one of the 2 or 3 guys that's coming on top of my head, Devontae, Adams,
DeAndre Hopkins.
Guy. Yeah, he's your quick, get off the line type of guy, and then you got a guy that's, kind of, the mirrors are similar to me, my size, DK Metcalf.
Well, I mean, I think it will start at the line. It can't just be just that wide receiver. So you got to do some things that throw the quarterback off at the same time. Like our game plan usually against Aaron Rodgers, we know he was always good when he break the pocket. You know, he extended plays, he breaking the pocket. So we would always try to collapse him and keep him in the pocket. That's where he get more uncomfortable at. So we try to keep him in the comfort. Other than that, I mean, who was that guy's driver and those kind of guys.
Nelson, Jordy
Nelson, you know what I'm saying?
Cobb.
We can play with our coverage a little bit more. Like man-to-man, that would be a little tricky sometimes, you know what I'm saying, unless we throw a little two-man or we'll do a little robber, have a little man, have a little safety drop down low, and we still got one, you know, little things like that just to mix up the man coverages.
Get Your Popcorn Ready is brought to you by Indochino. I went with the Hound's Claw Burgundy Chino. Blind hem, slanted pockets, tan buttons. Wearing them right now as I'm reading this to you. Most comfortable pants I own. Indochino offers fully custom suits, shirts, and casual wear at surprisingly affordable prices and ships them right to your door. Every piece is made to your exact measurements, and you can customize every detail, which is great, especially when you have a massive, sexy body like myself. Or if you just want to look and shop, go to Seville Row. You can now find Indochino at select Nordstrom stores, giving you one more way to get great fitting and personalized clothing. Find your nearest location at Indochino.com. And even better, right now, you can get $50 off any purchase of $3.99 or more by using the promo code POPCORN. Again, that's $50 off any purchase of $3.99 or more at Indochino, Indochino.com. Promo code POPCORN. So when did it, again, you're two-time Pro Bowler, right? 1 year All-Pro. When did it start to slow down for you? When you start seeing everything and things became like easier for you?
Man, that's a good question. I felt like I was ready to start and play like my second year. Like I was promised, like, hey man, you're gonna start for us this year, woo woo. And the man that actually put me in that position was Coach Mike Singletary, because he was a linebacker coach early on. You know, and he see me at practice balling and making plays off season. And then when he became the interim coach, like the third year, he called me in off season, like, man, you gonna be my safety, you gonna be my starter. You know, for a man like that to call me, I was feeling myself, like, you know, but I really felt like my third year, I was still a little like hesitant because they was kind of making me second guess my game because they felt like I wasn't ready. But at the same time, I knew like I can go out here and like ball. I can do
what they doing.
You feel me?
I can do what they doing.
Plus, right? You know, because there was. I'm not saying that they weren't. It was just they were coming to the end for them. You know, and I felt like if I can do this. You know, let me do this. But I really felt like my third year, I started coming into my own, man. It was just, I was spitting out, coverage, anticipating motions, and that was a thing they would say, like I wasn't quick enough on my adjustments
to read the
my pre-snap reads, right? But I'm like, man, all right. But that's what I had to work on. And I really, I took that, as a positive thing. Like, okay, coach, for sure. And I watch film.
So for kids that may be in a position like that, and like I said, a lot of guys they don't know that. They wouldn't know that that's something that a coach were, they're evaluating you, and like I said, you feeling like, okay, coach, I'm balling. I can do this. I can do X, Y, Z. But obviously, it's constructive criticism in a sense. So how does a kid be able to quickly learn pre-snap reads, or like I said, what they were trying to get you to do at I guess more of accelerated or expedited pace? How can kids better assess themselves to be like, okay, I need to do X, Y, Z in order to really enhance my game? Because I think, like for me, if I knew what I had to do, like right out of the huddle, and there's no second guessing, I'm playing 100%. I can ball
100 mile an hour.
You know what I mean? So what is it, what information or advice you can give the kids to kind of really accelerate, their learning curve?
I mean, that's a great question. But one of the things that I felt like that really helped me was learn how to watch film. You know what I'm saying? Watch film and recognize formations and splits and stuff like that. So, I mean, I did that in college because I had messed my ankle up in high school, my senior year in the off season. So I couldn't practice. I only played, 4 or 5 games my senior year. Didn't practice all season because my ankle was so messed up. Wow. So I had to learn how to watch film, and that's how I got my studying in, my practice, my repetition. So then when I got to the league, I mean, I picked up on a lot of that stuff, but at the professional level, it was a little different because there was so many different personnels and formations they can get into. You know what I'm saying?
The disguise.
3 to 4, the regular tight end out here, running back out here, slot receiver.
Resets, you know what I'm saying? So like a lot of that, I had to start learning how to anticipate that based on formations and splits. Who can go in motion and change my responsibility now. So I had to anticipate when I line up, when I see a receiver off the ball and I'm looking like, okay, he can motion, that's Z can motion all the way across the ball and make it twins. You know what I'm saying? Or this tight end get up and reset and what's my next adjustment? So I had to think about that, and that's what that allowed me to play fast. And once I started learning how to do that, it really just picked up because then I started learning the defense. And I knew what everybody had to do. Where my line was at, over fronts, stuff like that. Linebackers, where they line up. And when I got that down, that's like I said, I'm on my third year. I got narrowed everything down.
That was
it was like sky's the limit.
Let me ask you this: is professional sports more mental or physical?
Mental for sure.
Mental. Because a lot of people, they do not believe it. They're like, oh, but you guys are so big and strong and fast. Like, that ain't got, it's got a little bit to do with it because you physically have to get there. Right. But again, there could be a 6'3" dude and a 5'8" dude playing the same position. So it's really not physical. And I'm trying to tell them it's a mental game.
It's big time mental, man. Like I said, just from the formation recognition and the adjustment stuff. But look at those playbooks. Shit,
playbooks be like this, y'all.
Yeah, playbooks like paragraph. That ain't like pro left 9, 7, 3. You know what I'm saying? It's Z counter approval. It sometimes be 3 different tags. You got to understand, like from an offense standpoint, defense. You got a certain coverage, but you got to understand it might change based on a split, or you got like 3 different little adjustments just based on where they line up, split-wise, if they stack, you got tools within the defense.
Yeah. Now, at University of Washington, did you learn a little bit more of that stuff to prepare you for the league or not really?
I did. I had a coach by the name of Phil Snow, man. He was the guy who really helped me learn how to watch.
Is he still
film.
around? Too?
You know what? That's crazy. He had left Washington and went to I think UCLA or something after that. And then he disappeared for a while. But I heard his name being brought up again in one of the games I was watching. I want to say he's back in the league or something, man. But
I hope so.
Yeah, but I think he's still around, man. He was a great coach, man. I used to call him Al Pacino. He looked like Al Pacino. He was a good coach, man. He was a good coach, and I felt like he helped me out. He helped me out a lot.
Right. So, what has been your greatest moment out of your professional football career? What was the highest moment?
That all pro it's up there.
I mean, all of that stuff was good. I knew. I mean, if I balled, that stuff was gonna come. A lot of, to answer your question, to be honest with you, it was after the games. Almost after a lot of my football games, I would get coaches from the opposing teams would come to put me to side, like, man, you're a hell of a player. Offensive coordinators like, man, you're a great player. We had to,
the game plan for you, and you still made plays.
What? My coach had to come over and put me to the side and tell me that, or opposing players, some of the vets that played, 1980s when they was knocking him, like, man, you could have played with us back in the day.
Right.
Like that was more of, I felt like gratifying than the Pro Bowls and the Super Bowls. I just knew, I felt like, man, if I ball, I know what I'm doing, I make my plays, that's gonna come. And that was never a goal of mine. Make it to the Pro Bowl. If I ball, make my plays, that was gonna come with it.
Speaking of Super Bowl, what was that experience like? And obviously we'll talk about Kaepernick, who was the quarterback at that time. But I want to get to, you guys were kicking butt.
Right. Facts.
And the lights goes out. The lights go out.
Pitch
and it changed the game.
We playing lights out football.
Literally.
So did that, and he just asked you a question earlier about the game being physical and mental.
Right.
Now the lights go out. Does this affect the morale, the mentality of you personally and the game?
Nah, it didn't. And the only reason why I say that because the lights went out on us that same year on a Monday night in Candlestick.
Really? I didn't know that.
We were playing against Pittsburgh Steelers.
Wow.
Lights went out on us in Candlestick.
Wow.
And and it was shocking. Like, damn, what the hell?
Right.
Like in the movie, and he's looking like, man, what the?
Right.
But it kind of, we've been there. We've seen it already. So it didn't rattle us as much, you know. And I feel like the one in the Super Bowl kind of, you know, helped us a little bit because we've been here before, and they haven't. We've been here, and at the same time, we need to gather some things. We need to huddle up and get some stuff right real quick.
We want to talk about something anyway.
After them lights went back on, we went on our little streak, went on our little run, you know.
Right.
Scored a couple touchdowns after that, but you know, I felt like it didn't. It rattled maybe a few people, but me, I could nah.
As long as you could gather your thoughts and go over there and you're gonna get back ready to go back in anyway.
Right, that part.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Again, I want to touch a little bit on Kaepernick. Obviously, like I said, you know, there's been so much surrounding him, and I think he's been at the forefront of what the world has been going through. And share with us a little bit. We don't have to go too in depth, but share with us a little bit about your experience playing with him, and then just the stance that he took, and then maybe share a little bit of, and I think I know the answer, but why a lot of guys at that particular time and moment didn't really stand in solidarity with his cause.
Well, Cap, man, to be honest, I didn't see when that happened, I didn't really see it coming. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't a person like that, I felt, to do something like that. Not saying that he wasn't capable. It's just he was still young at the time when he came to us. He was still trying to learn, you know, getting his role as a quarterback and do all of that. He was a great teammate. I felt like my first year with him, first year or two, you know, I think Cap came in might be like 11, you know, and I think he was always to himself. He was, you know, chill. He worked hard. He worked out after practice, before practice. Like, he was a guy that was trying to make a name for himself and get on the football field. So with that, he stayed out the way. He was just a normal, you know, player. I didn't see him, you know,
being a leader
of being controversial, like,
movement.
Whatever the case. Yeah, right. I didn't see none of that.
And I'm looking at it too the way you're looking at it, because I don't think I kind of foresaw that he would be at the forefront of you know, being a spokesperson for humanity's you know, social injustice and things that we've experienced, you know, over the last year or so. And now I think he's basically created a lot of dialogue, a lot of conversation, uncomfortable conversations. Because I know personally I've had those conversations that is stemmed honestly from what he did 4 or 5 years ago. And now we come back full circle, and like, honestly, like I said, this is what he did it for, you know what I mean? And people have mentioned his name with the likes of Muhammad Ali and some of the great ones that have really stood up, you know, for the black community. And some people have questioned it. You think about the entity of Nike that have backed him with his efforts to try to minimize or try to eradicate, you know, racism. It's unfortunate that he hasn't, you know, been able to regain his career in football. But do you think, you know, his stance is what, you know, prevented him from actually, you know, really prolonging his career?
I mean, I feel so. We all know that it has something to do with it, you know, because there's no reason why. I mean, his game wasn't bad enough to where he couldn't play in the league. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? My thing was, I really didn't understand. I didn't see what he matured into because I left. I left. My last year was Super Bowl year, 2012, 13, whatever that was. So what happened, what transpired was pretty much after when I was gone. So I didn't get to see what he was going through, or, you know, how he felt mentally about everything. But far as his teammates or players, like, didn't, you know, how they felt. And you can say, obviously, Reed was one of the guys that, you know,
Eric Reed,
you know, stood with him. And I just think some of the other guys are probably just scared or just didn't care. Like, you know what I mean? They just didn't really see the bigger picture or see what was going on. And him, and it's just tough because, like I said, I saw him.
The young boy, he wasn't that guy. So,
and I feel good about it. I feel like, man, I praise to him. Like, I stand with him. You know, I think what he did was powerful. You know what I'm saying? It was powerful, and he's not as easy. And what he did, he opened a lot of eyes to a lot of people, and he caught a lot of backlash from it, obviously. But I think what he did was amazing, because look how it ended up going.
Changing the world, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And everybody looked at him like, ain't crazy, man. He doing messing up his money, doing all that. But it was bigger things. That was bigger. It was big for him.
Yeah, yeah. You ever had a cause like that was really like bigger than money, like bigger than yourself? You ever been part of a cause like that? Because I know I was thinking, people always ask me, would you had, taken a knee? I was like, being young in my career, I probably wouldn't have unless Denny Green said to. Our head coach, if Denny Green said, hey, we all doing it, I would have did it in a heartbeat.
Right, because I think Denny Green is one of those coaches that...
He would have said, we all doing it or we ain't doing it.
Right, yeah.
Period.
Yeah, because he seems like, I mean, I'm sure he grew up around that era. His parents went through that era of what obviously we as a black community have gone through. And just to see, kind of the movement of what Cap was doing, what he actually stood for. And I think what was so frustrating about it is that you had to go back and actually talk to Cap or see clips of what he actually was trying to do. He was basically articulating, he was telling you why he was doing what he was doing, but nobody, but it fell on deaf ears, you know what I mean? And now, like I said, the George Floyd situation comes out. We already experienced it years and years ago, and I'm sure you was Rodney King situation. Right. So to again, like you said, for him to be so young, and obviously, like I said, you didn't see really kind of, what was at the root of why he was doing what he was doing. And then, like I said, to have it come full circle 4 or 5 years later, and it's like, yo, this is what Cap was talking about. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm eager to see. I got a movie or something show coming out. I want to check out, man.
Oh, he has a movie coming out? Yeah, that'll be awesome.
That'll be,
somebody, kid playing. I just seen something about a clip a little few days ago.
LMNT, spelled LMNT, is an electrolyte drink to get you hydrated without any sugar, salts only. Their unique formula gives the body what it needs to keep performing at the highest level, both mentally and physically. That way you can max out at the gym and then crush a podcast afterwards. T.O. could use some of this because for some reason he's deranged and thinks he can still play in the NFL, which is crazy to me. But anyway, since me and T.O. are considered VIP affiliates, for a limited time you can get a free sample of LMNT. Each sample includes 8 packets, 1 of each flavor: watermelon salt, citrus salt, orange salt, raspberry salt, raw unflavored, mango chili, lemon habanero, and chocolate salt. Limit 1 time per customer. Just go to drinklimit.com. That's drinklmnt.com. To learn more, tell them T.O. and Hatch sent you.
So what's next for Dashon Goldson? We've done some research. We know that you have always been the entrepreneur type. I can go back.
Well, take us to your first entrepreneurial spirit case. Take us back 5, 6 years old, 10, 2.
Man,
were you selling diapers? What was you doing?
I was selling raffle tickets at middle school. My boy, remember the old Ravens Revenge, a little sugar thing. I was selling white T-shirts. I was just selling white T-shirts.
So you were the candy man too?
Oh, man,
did you have the jacket? Like, hey, my man, say hey.
I had the dashboard, bro.
Check out what I got right here.
Let me over here. Man, I was selling candy. Was hustling T-shirts in college. All the basketball boys in white tee. I always wear white T-shirts.
The white tee, all right.
Wow. I'm always in the white tee. So yeah, I used to slang white T-shirts to the basketball players in college, man.
Really?
So how did this come about? Because me, I didn't even, thinking about it in high school, I just didn't have that mindset. I wasn't thinking about nothing like that. Even though I knew I didn't have no money, I just didn't know
how to get it.
I
didn't know how to get it.
I don't know, man. It was just, as a kid, you always wanted to buy stuff, You had to make some money, figure out a way. Man, my best friend, Donnell Wheaton, man, we was always, he went to middle school with me, so we used to, come up with these ideas, like, man, we should sell these. And remember when Pog used to be out and all that? I remember Pog.
Wait, what? Wait. What's it called?
Pog?
No, man, they would Cali thing.
Yeah, because we ain't from Cali, so
I'm from the Slammers and stuff. No, talking about deaf ears.
Already. What is Paul?
Man, Pog was back in the day, man. That's what kids used to play with. Now, I just seen some recently. They have the Squid Game stuff now. They started.
Okay.
But they talking about and they slamming this thing and I don't know what they do. But anyway, so Pogs was these little paper, cardboard looking little circular things. You know what I'm saying? And people collect them. You buy them, and you play against somebody else who has some different pogs. They had different, cool ones or whatever, and have
like Pokemon.
I never got into Pokemon.
It sound like Pokemon. I don't know.
That's what it sounds like. Whatever, it worked for him.
Yeah, it
worked for you.
Man, they called pogs. Yeah,
we're gonna have to research that one.
So y'all made money off Paul.
We made money off Paul. Everything we could think of, we made money off of. Man, candy.
Washing cars, cutting grass, that was just too simple.
Yeah, that's labor. That's hard labor. That's different.
We quick money, though. We need quick cash. Let's
run that.
See, that's what we did, bro. We cutting grass. That was
no, ours was shoveling snow because I grew up in Ohio. We had to shovel snow.
That was just inner city. We ain't cutting nobody's grass and all that. We might TP your house and something. Hey, we ain't even do all that.
That's great. So what's the entrepreneurial adult doing now, right? Do you take some of that hustle you learned when you were 10 years old, let's say, and use it now? For
sure. So, I mean, when I got in the league, man, I started to get into real estate. So I started buying, doing investment properties. Started buying a lot of properties up. Kind of the cigars.
Cigar. Yeah, tell us about your cigar company.
Yeah, man. So I had a lounge cigar called Smoke Kings. Smoke Kings Lounge, man. I just closed it down maybe like right before the COVID hit. But I had it for about good 7. We were going strong about good 7, 8 years, man.
Okay.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it was nice. It was right there in Ladera Heights. Ladera Heights, right not too far from the airport.
Okay.
So we had the cigars. I got into the hookah, started migrating to the hookah thing. I started getting popular. Yeah, so I got into the hookah. But the lounge was dope, man, because I had live music. I got into the cigars probably about 2006, 7. That was like my rookie year. Right. Okay. And I got into the cigars. I remember going to Vegas one time and a bunch of Major League Baseball players were there, and we was in this club. I remember, y'all remember club, was it Privé?
Privé, yeah.
I remember the club playing Hollywood.
Yeah.
We was in there one night, and they was in there. We linked up with some baseball players. They started passing a cigar. We drinking past. That same night, Floyd was in there with Zab Judah. Okay. Having bottle wars. Man, them boys was bottle.
Buying up the whole club.
Oh, man. I'm talking about to where waitresses coming out just passing out bottles to random people. That's how crazy it was that night, man.
And them bottles be 1,500,
man,
2,500.
We in there. I'm talking about rookie year. We in there with Dom Perignon. Like, we
right.
doing this cigar.
Like, this is how they do it.
You feel me? So I'm saying, like, we living. But then, so I got into school and met some cool people, man. I got to hanging out in the cigar lounge right on Sunset, right across from where the House of Blues used to be at. Yeah. Right next to that, man. And messing with cool people there. Used to hang out. I always had an older spirit. So all my good friends was like older than me.
OGs.
So what he's doing, you were establishing relationships.
That part.
You feel me? Yep, you know what I mean? So
already.
I just got into the cigars then, so I decided to open my own lounge, man, and it took off. I had it for a couple years. Okay. Met some cool people. Started doing live music. Had jazz nights. Right. Had live bands. Had spoken word, comedy nights. Yeah. So just mix it up.
So are you also gonna have your own brand of cigars, or just the lounge?
It was just the lounge at the time. It was supposed to get to that point. Had ideas and plans on that, but it was just I was all over the place at the time. I was still playing,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So is that hard to manage? Because like some people, like you said, you're one person.
Right.
Explaining to people like it's a process. It's not like,
Definitely
I got money, we got a building, let's sell.
Go.
You know what I mean?
Nah, it's tough, especially when you have a business. You got to be in there yourself, because obviously, man, you got to take care of it. It was hard. I had trust issues, trusting everybody with, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I think we all
you should.
You feel me?
You should.
Nobody.
We've all gone through it.
So you have to be in there. I mean, you can't just go ahead and open a business and let somebody else do it. You run your shit into the ground, man.
Yeah.
So, when I got done, especially, I was in it. I was in it full-fledged and every day, and it was doing good, man. But just shit, time. I was like, time just got tough, and COVID stuff, and
So you still doing the cigars now, or?
No, I'm not actually. I'm getting ready to. I was in the midst of looking for a new location. I wanted to move because it was so far out.
Revamp? You want to revamp?
I was all the way in the valley. I had to commute every day to damn it there. It was just too much. I wanted to move it more in the valley, man, and how just reach a different demographic of people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Where I was at though, it wasn't that bad. It was in a plaza, but then they started opening up a few opened up. You know what I'm saying, in the area after that. So it was just like a lot of competition. It was just flooded. You know what I mean? It was just
getting saturated.
Yeah.
But once you establish yourself, you kind of establish your brand, regardless of what's
where
going
you
on.
go.
Right?
Yeah, they gonna find you. They gonna follow you.
They know what it is, especially if it's quality. You know what I mean?
Part.
If it's quality.
That part.
Yeah.
The cigar business? Do you know about the business itself? You know, like, I don't know nothing about cigars.
Me
Like,
either,
you know,
like I said,
you know, like
I
I seen one
smoke,
3 feet long and 2 feet long. I'm like, I don't know the difference. What is it?
I mean, it was a lot to learn. It was still, I mean, I didn't know everything about it, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna sit here and say I know. But I was still learning at the same time. Especially when I got done, I started being in it more. Right. Started learning more. Because then I started ordering, doing the inventory, started learning the ins and outs about it and stuff like that. And it was a lot to learn. It was tough. You know what I mean? But
and that's what I mean. Especially when we're playing, it's like I think a lot of the players don't understand. You have to engulf yourself in that new industry, just like you did football. Right. Else it's going to be hard for it to be successful. Like you have to give it time. Again, like T just said, you can't just throw money at it. You can't just throw your best friend and your mama and say, go manage it, right? It's like you have to put the business plan together, and then you really have business people run the plan. Exactly. You know, that's the only way it's going to happen for you.
Exactly, therefore.
You know, because on the business side, you know, athletes say, oh, you guys don't know what you're doing with your money. We're doing everything that everybody else is doing with their money, right? We're experimenting, we're entrepreneurial at spirit, so we're trying to make more money with our money. That's what we're doing. You know, people, oh, but you guys failed. It's okay. You know, you failed before, right? All these billionaires you see, they failed millions of times, right? They all fail, but it's that spirit that gets you up into to go try again, to try the next, you know, the next business venture, if you will. So what's something that you failed at, like in the past, you're like, man, I hate that I failed and it hurt, but you've learned from it. Like you've learned from that experience and it helps you move on to your next experience.
I think, you know, with that, I would say is business, you take risks, right? So you try to, you know, get a business plan and you go in on it and somebody don't pan out. I mean, anytime you take an L, but like you said, you gotta, you know, get back out of it.
Already.
And that was the thing. I'm not gonna sit here and all my investing was, you know, a success. I mean, I had made some bad decisions at the same time, but I was fortunate enough to some of them, you know, panned out and helped me, you know, in the long run. So.
I think my worst business decision ever was the record label. Oh, that was horrible. Yeah. Oh,
see, people would approach me about stuff like that. Oh,
it was so stupid.
Lost so much money. About the music industry,
me neither. That's why I shouldn't have did it. Oh man, that's when I signed as a free agent in New York. I'm thinking, oh, I'm Puffy, I'm Jay-Z. All right. What? Yes, slapped me twice.
What?
Yeah, but again, just because you like it, just because you know enough about it, right? You don't know the business side of things. And again, I learned from it. You know, I take all the experience from it, which is great. But again, that part of the losing, oh yeah, that hurt.
And it's but you know, you dust yourself off, man. Get up.
Yeah, you go. Dust yourself off and get up and go put it to work again.
No problem.
Tell us, you got $2?
2 daughters. 5-year-old and a 10-year-old, man. Oh,
love it.
Because I follow you on social media. Man. And your daughters, I know my daughter is 7. They are funny, comedy, but they make you feel younger than what you really are. Tell us about your 2 daughters, man, because I know you're always posting on some funny stuff.
They got you on TikTok?
No, I ain't get me on there. My oldest
Not
went
yet.
on there, but I can't.
They ain't got you on there yet?
It's coming.
Oh, it's coming. Bro.
Oh, man.
I'm on TikTok with my daughter, so I know you got to
I've been trying to get my 10-year-old off of that, man. There's so much going on.
Yeah, but you got to censor it. You got to monitor like what they have on it, because they don't. TikTok doesn't really have any censorship like on there, so you have to really monitor what your kids are scrolling through on there.
Wow.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh man, them girls like night and day. My 10-year-old Fire, my 10-year-old Charlie, and my 5-year-old Chase, man, they like night and day.
Charlie and Chase.
Charlie and Chase, man. Charlie's more of the
which one is more like you?
Chase, the 5-year-old, for sure.
Really?
Oh man, she trap music. She sang all the lyrics. Daddy, turn it up. You know?
Music.
Oh man,
turn up, the 5-year-old. Turn up.
Oh man, she on everything.
I love it.
It's funny. But yeah, she into all of that. Where Charlie, she's more reserved. She's the mama's girl. They both athletic, man. Charlie's more athletic. She grew up, you know, we got her in a lot of stuff. Track, soccer, basketball. She loved football. Nice. She wanted to play tackle football.
Love it.
You ain't ready for
no,
that.
Right.
Well, you know, you ain't gonna let her.
You know, I thought about it, man, to be honest with you, but I'm like, you ain't ready for that right now.
Right.
You know, nah, just.
Is she a small 10?
Nah, she's not actually.
So that's why you're thinking about. Yeah, that's why you're looking at like, you might as well.
Wow. Yeah, man.
So what do you think is her her sport? What do you think she's going to gravitate towards more? And then as parents, you kind of, we evaluate our kids, we see them, and you kind of want to kind of steer them in the right direction. Exactly. Like with my kid, like everybody was, well, are you going to allow your kids to play football, your son to play football? You know, for me personally, I'm like, I'm going to support them with whatever they want to do. Exactly. But like we said, when you have a kid and you like yours that's very talented, you're like, okay, well, how do I figure out which direction of steering them, or are you just allowing their natural talent to kind of, you know, give them kind of like where they need to be?
So that's what I've been doing lately, is letting her, you know, her talent dictate where she's gonna fall. You know, because we started off with the track. She liked track, and she got into track, and then the quarantine hit, man, and it kind of messed up everything from the track. She got to fell in love with the video games,
in-house stuff.
You know, so she didn't want to go outside no more and all that stuff. She played a little flag football. She loved the flag football. She still want to play that.
Really?
Yeah, there's girls flag football is fast growing sport.
I got clips, man. My baby hitting that sideline. I'm talking about.
She's defensive.
No, she offensive.
She running with that
thing. So she was in the football, but realistically, I know she don't want to play flag football or you know, football. She played a little bit basketball, and she got away from that. But now she's going to school now, and she's in Kenya, so she joined the basketball team. And she's hyped about that. You know, her friends, she always want to play things all her friends is into now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it was soccer, then it was basketball. Now she's back. So she's playing basketball and soccer right now at the moment. And I think she liked those both. So I'm just really trying to get her to, you know, stay focused on that and get better at the sport. Because right now, I can tell right now, soccer is a little challenging for her. You know what I mean? It's her first year or two really getting into it. All the kids that she played with on those traveling teams have been playing since they was like, you know, small. Where mine, she bounced around in a bunch of different sports. So I had a conversation with her the other day because she's starting to become a teenager. You know what I'm saying? She hang around these schools and all these different kids, and you know, they do spirit stuff at school. They want to go to school, watch these games and all that. She had practice yesterday, so she was like, you know, I'm not going to practice today. I'm like, what you mean you ain't going to practice?
What you? Oh, you going to practice?
I'm like, you going to practice? No, I want to stay and watch the flag football game. I'm like, baby, you ain't missing your practice. Go watch no flag football.
That ain't how it works.
You feel me?
Learning about commitment at the time.
So I got to teach her stuff like that, and I mean, it's hard because your girl, you want her to experience, and you want that's your baby girl. You feel me? But it's like, baby, nah, you need to, you know, you signed up for this. You wanted to do this. You can't, you know,
you got to commit yourself.
You feel me? So that's what I've been, you know, on lately with her. My 5-year-old, man, she just all over the place. She want to be a singer. She want to be on TV.
I love it.
One time, I'm putting her to bed, man. It was crazy. She dead sleep, half sleep. Like, I'm tucking her to bed. She just rolled up, Daddy, I want to be on TV.
What? Go to sleep. Go to sleep, man. Go to sleep. Like, girl, you're dreaming. You're dreaming.
But she got that personality, you know what I'm saying?
Wow, that's awesome.
It's beautiful, dog. I like, you know, being there with her. Because she was a child that grew up with me because I was at home. Charlie, I was still playing football. So it was, you know what I'm saying, and out of town. She moved out there for a year, stayed with me, you know what I'm saying? But Chase, she's around me 24/7, so she gets more. I felt like she got more at a young age than Charlie did.
Oh, she's getting more influence. Yeah, for sure.
So what's the best thing about fatherhood, and what has it taught you? I don't know, like I said,
it taught me patience.
Father, did you have it growing up? Was your mom and dad in
No, my biological, no. But I have a stepdad that pretty much was around most of pretty much all my childhood and teenage life.
And much of what you experienced with your stepdad, is that kind of like how you are molding and raising your kids?
Yeah, and more though, you know what I mean? My biological wasn't there, so I'm put all my all in my kids, you know what I mean? So I'm there, I'm supporting them every game, you know, because when growing up, my parents are Jamaican, so they wouldn't believe in football. Football, but then was soccer.
Football.
So my stepdad wanted me to play basketball. He was a Knicks fan. He just thought I was a hell of a basketball player growing up. And coaches was like, hey, man, your son's a hell of a player. You should let him play football. He's like, no, he gonna play basketball.
Right, already.
Me playing football is a whole nother story. I didn't even tell y'all the story. I actually signed myself up to play football behind my parents' back. They didn't even know I was playing football. That's a whole nother story.
One of those Bobby Boucher stories. Don't you be playing that foosball.
Basically, that's exactly what it was. It was crazy. That $100 took me a long way, bro.
So you signed yourself up.
I was
because your parents would not sign you up.
Because they didn't want me to play football.
Wow.
That's awesome.
It's crazy.
Now Have you brought this up?
Yeah,
to
brought this up.
They know. $100 bought you to the house.
I was about to say, where you staying right now.
Right.
Nah, it's crazy, man. It's a crazy story. But yeah, man, back to my kids though. I just, just try to be there and mold them into, young women and give them, insight on what I learned, my experiences, and try to,
And speaking on that, like the empowerment, especially where we are with women today, all the things that, is going on in the world, seeing, Kamala Harris be our first, woman of color as vice president. Are these some of the things that obviously, like I say, you share moments with your daughters and really kind of with the importance of what we as the world are witnessing?
I get to a little bit, but man, mom do a good job of that. And grandmother,
mom,
really,
okay.
you know what I'm saying? It's big on that, so that's a beautiful thing. They went into politics. Them look, my little
might be politicians.
I'll be nervous about what she gonna say when she goes to school. Oh man.
Man, we're gonna have to watch out for Chase.
Hey, tell the teachers, get your head on the swivel, teachers.
Man, that part.
Cool.
I love it.
What she got going on at school, man. She already working on her second or third tally. One more thing she's suspended from school, man.
All they say, it's a personal foul, Daddy. You got personal fouls. It's a personal foul. They threw the flag on me.
All right, baby, you right.
Right. That's funny. Did they ever see any old video of you from playing?
They do.
That's awesome, man.
Charlie was there, so she's seen a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? So she got her little jersey. She got her Spirit Week. She wear my jerseys to school.
Love it.
So this personality that we're hearing from Chase, is there any special talent or personality that you have that you see in your kids?
Yeah, I think they both got a little bit of me because I'm cool and chill. I'm calm at times, but sometimes I have my moments where I'm funny. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I like to have a good time. And that's Charlie. Charlie, she calm all the time, but she have her goofy moments. You feel me? And Chase, she's turned up.
All the time.
Stay turned
to the max.
So that's you on the field, and the other one's you off the field.
Exactly.
There it is, turned up on the field.
There you go.
Well, let's take it back to the field a little bit. So I'm gonna ask you. You can only answer either overrated or underrated. That's the only two words you can say. Man, that's all you can say. I'm gonna throw some names at you.
We ain't gonna get
and again, this is your personal opinion. You can't be wrong. You know what I'm saying? Forget what everybody's talking about.
Entitled to their opinion. You're not etched in stone. That's what people.
But you played the position. You played football, so you're an expertise at football, right? So Earl Thomas, underrated or overrated?
Underrated or overrated?
Under. Okay. Ed Reed. Underrated. Yeah. Troy Polamalu. Under.
Dog.
Yeah, it's true dog. John Lynch.
Gotta be careful with this one.
You gonna see him in the building, you already know.
You know what? I didn't see too much. Only clips I didn't see a lot of his game, to be honest with you. Man, only time I did see him, he was bringing that wood. So I don't know what he liked.
Right. And the only other clips you see is when Barry Sanders was doing them, so it's hard to judge.
I was beating him.
I'll give him over.
Adrian Wilson. Another headhunter for the Cardinals. Yeah, headhunter.
Nah, he was pretty good.
Underrated or overrated?
Under,
okay. Ryan Clark.
Ryan, that's my guy, man.
That's my man, Ryan Clark. Shout out to you, buddy. Cleasy. Underrated or overrated, though?
Overrated.
It's even his game. I ain't really,
Yeah, he was at.
He had little moments he showed.
Little splashes here and there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say over.
Okay. It was Eric Weddle.
Over.
Okay. Harrison Smith for the Vikings.
Who is that?
Pro Bowler for the Vikings. He's a dog.
He underrated, man.
Underrated? Yeah, because he makes plays.
Yeah, he makes plays, dog.
All right, let's go to the offensive side. Jimmy Graham.
Over.
Okay. Jason Witten. That's a tough one.
That's a tough one.
Yeah. Because you want to say he ain't going to do nothing, and you look up, he got 11 catches.
Hey, I'm going to say under, man.
Under? Okay.
He'll run the hell out of some routes.
Already.
Man, for sure.
Greg Olson.
Over.
Okay. Adrian Peterson.
Under.
Under. Marshawn Lynch.
Under.
Arian Foster. Man, that was a tough one. He was hot for a couple years. Aaron was hot for a couple years, boy.
Yeah. I'm gonna say over.
Over? Okay. Calvin Johnson.
Under.
Brandon Marshall. Yeah.
Brandon Marshall.
Yeah. You've seen them all.
Under.
Under? Okay. Andre Johnson.
Under.
Yeah, under. Yeah, Dre was a dog. Okay, all right. Now give us your top five. Top five safeties of all time.
Yeah, we'll
no
let you-
order.
No
you can
order.
put yourself on the list, not on the list. It don't matter. It's
And
top five.
We're going to let you go. We're
We gonna let you ride.
Yeah, get your, hey.
Get your
America,
popcorn
get your
ready.
popcorn ready. Dashon Golson's top five. Was it defensive back?
Safeties. Top five safeties in NFL history.
Dashon Golson's top five safeties of all time.
On Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast.
You said I can't say myself. You said.
No, you
You
can.
can- you
Get
can-
whatever
you
five you
done.
want.
Dashon Golson.
There's one.
Okay.
You got
All right.
four more.
No order, right?
No order. Yep, it's just your top five.
Sean Taylor.
Sean Taylor,
Okay.
already.
Washington
Yep.
Redskins, now Washington football team.
Yep.
Troy Polamalu.
Troy on
Okay,
there.
Troy.
Animal.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Ed Reed.
Ed Reed,
Ed
Baltimore
Reed,
Ravens.
Baltimore Ravens.
Got
That's
one more.
One more.
Just one more, huh?
So you can go old school,
Old
back
school,
to your
man.
Donnie
Ooh.
Shells, your Steve Atwaters, your
Yeah.
Ronnie Lotts, or you can stay current.
Your Franco Harris.
Franco Harris wasn't no safety.
Oh, you want? Oh,
What are you?
So
wrong
can
with
I showed you how much I know about football. It's
Nothing.
Nothing.
Let me see.
You know who I want to? Nah, I can't.
Joey Browner, Kenny
Charles Woodson.
Easley, Charles.
At safety?
Yeah, he was a Pro Bowl safety.
Safety? He was that nice at safety?
was-
Charles Woodson.
Charles was a dog. Charles was a dog.
Charles make plays, boy.
Yeah,
I
Charles
would
make
know.
plays.
I would never know.
I would Charles make
Hey, no,
plays.
you know what? See, we'll keep it true safety. We'll keep it true.
True safety?
We'll
Okay.
true.
We
Darren
put him
Sharp-
in. We have an honorable mention.
Darren Sharper, Brian Dawkins, right? Jack
See, I was
Tatum.
thinking between Brian Dawkins, Kenny Easley.
There it is. But those two dogs. Kenny Easley was a dog before, back in the day.
Kenny Easley.
Had that elbow pad on. Boy, he used to throw
know
that
who that is.
flipper. 45 for the Seahawks. Yeah,
Kenny
he was a
Easley, that
dog.
sound like
Yeah,
a
he would have busted your
WWF.
head.
said
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There
Kenny
it is.
Easley sound like a WWF type of character. That name, Kenny Easley. Kenny
Easy break your shit up. Bro.
Hey, Kenny was a
we
dog.
didn't want to see none of this.
Yeah, he did.
You know,
He would've ran
I don't
through
know
you.
who Kenny is.
He don't know who you are neither, so it's
It's
all
good, it's
even.
good.
You
But
know what I'm
we'll
saying?
both have to do the honors
I don't
of
know.
Googling
he
each
probably
other.
been gunning for you all game.
Oh, yeah. Oh, trust me. Trust
Oh,
me.
man, he probably been.
Guys like yourself that I know, like you said, game planning, we talked about it earlier.
Right.
We like I said, we watch film, we go, we prepare for the week. We understand who the headhunters are, who's gonna hit, who's not gonna
Yeah,
hit.
we gonna give the extra
who's
under
quick
the
to get a
pile.
double move, whatever. Trust me, I know those guys that just like the headhunt and want to make a statement, especially early in the game. They want to get their top guy out of the game. So I'm already knowing I got a bullseye, I got a target on my back. So
Absolutely.
trust me. If my route is supposed to tell me to go down the middle and not float up, go parallel, I'm not finna float.
Don't fall off the ball. Don't
I'm
fall
not-
off. You better
Don't cut
stay
it
flat.
Yeah, I'm not
You
finna
better
float
stay
into
flat.
one of you guys. 'Cause I already know what y'all got. Y'all coming downhill
Straight
and
up.
fast.
Downhill.
So
See,
no,
that was
sir.
always our game plan too. Like not even as far as game plan, it was just a mentality going into the game. We played those teams like
Setting
the
the
Seahawks.
tone.
Setting the tone. It was like the Patriots. You know, you had your Green Bay Packers, your Saints, the finesse teams. You know, they
Yeah.
throw the ball a lot. The
Colts. Yeah.
Once we punish one of those guys, that was always. Once you punish one of them guys,
They all
the
shift.
game plan gonna change. The momentum of the game is gonna change.
Yeah.
Off rip every time, and it never changed. Every time we was going to a game, our goal was to go ahead and punish them receivers. Punish one of them receivers. Be physical. Physical with them receivers. The whole game plan gonna change because they ain't gonna want to run that ball. They ain't gonna want to come across that middle. Their game plan gonna change. What you gonna do? It ain't so many routes you can run.
There's only so many.
Outside.
You eventually got to come inside. You eventually got to come in.
And had Dante with, so it's like we got 2 safeties. What side you gonna pick?
Right. Yeah, oh yeah, that's y'all double trouble.
Double trouble. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The headhunter. The headhunter, Dashon Goldson. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you coming on, man.
Appreciate you having me.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, chop it up with your boy. Appreciate you, baby. All ready. Get your popcorn ready. Yeet. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Dashon Goldson, appreciate you coming out, brother. And again, that was one of the true headhunters of the NFL.
Hey, it lived up to the intro, spectacular.
True. Special, like we said.
Yep. And I'll take special. I love this dialogue that we had. The best part about it was receiving my flowers. I'm receiving my flowers. Don't try to.
Okay. Oh, hey, I didn't say anything.
Your body language said a lot. Your body language.
What did my body language say? You
wanted to throw my flowers in the trash can. That's what you wanted to do. That's what your body language was telling me.
Oh yeah, no, I'll give you flowers too, T. I said some things today, right?
What?
I didn't say nothing positive.
What's something in your drink?
You know what? I tell you, it's what I'm gonna do, world, right? Because I'm working on me, right? So from now on, I'm gonna say at least one thing positive about you on every show.
Whoa!
Yes, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
No, there's something to it. Somebody paying you. Somebody paying you.
Hey, no, I'm working on myself, right? And I have to put more love in the air. So that's gonna be my one thing. Every show I'm gonna say one positive thing. If I don't, world, you guys help me out and let me know, check me, so then I'll have to say 2 things the next time. But I'm gonna say one positive thing about this guy every show. How about that? That's my man, my guy. That's what's up.
Well, I'm not going to say anything positive about you every
See what I'm saying? I'm out. I don't want to do it. I'm out. Whatever I just said, I don't want to do it anymore.
He needs to work on his face. That's what he needs to
See
work
what I'm
on.
saying? See, okay. I can't do this. No.
What?
Whatever. I'm out. Jerk. Trying to say one positive thing, man. Just one. Just one.
This show is better with me on it anyway.
Yeah. You don't believe that.